Hey everybody, welcome to Cinematic Relief bonus episode for Game of Thrones, Season 8, Episode 4. I'm Thunder.
I'm Lightning.
It's
very early in the morning.
It is. Let's just get right to it.
Okay.
That,
We going in order here? Do you got a specific order you want to go in, or just level of anger?
I'm not angry at anything.
You're not angry at anything?
Not really. That the first scene lasted way too long.
The whole,
like,
are you talking the whole Winterfell scene? The fact that we were doing nothing in Winterfell for the first 35 minutes of the show?
No, I just meant the funeral scene.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that went on way too long.
It lasted like 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the whole beginning just lagged. Like when they did the party scene too, I felt like that just went on.
Oh yeah,
never ended.
The party was pretty long too.
And there's just not time for that right now.
Yeah.
And by right now, I mean in the last 3 episodes of this series.
Right. Well, like I said, I think that, especially with the way this episode ended, I think that episode 5 and half of episode 6 is gonna be like the conclusion of the story, and then the rest of episode 6 is gonna be that thing where they like to sit around and talk about what happened in the last couple episodes.
Oh, there's just so much. I can't believe that car's still doing that. I doubt it's being picked up.
No, it's not.
It just never ends. There was a car horn outside. Long story. I'm sure we'll get into it some other time on this channel. But oh god. Daenerys at the party.
Yeah.
Sansa clearly
Daenerys wasn't that bad at the party.
She wasn't bad. She was getting angry though. You could tell.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though, and I'm glad I said it as it was happening. She pulled one over on Gendry.
Yeah.
That was smart, but I was just like, wow, nobody,
smart.
Nobody's going to pick up on what she's doing. But then Sansa was like, no, I got her number. I know exactly what that was.
Yeah.
So I'm glad somebody did. I hope Sansa speaks up about that sometime. But I just, in the moment, I was like, wow, that sounds better than King, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because there's no way you deserve that title. Just be happy with what I give you. Ugh. It was smart, but
we finally have confirmation. He said it himself. Jon Snow does not want the Iron Throne for himself.
No, but I mean, I feel like we had confirmation. Oh no, did Jon Snow
No, there was a conversation that he's Rhaegar's son, and then the next scene was we're telling Daenerys, and then the next scene was a big battle. So we haven't really gotten a chance to.
Oh, I see what you're
saying.
Talk
about if he wants it or not.
But he finally has
said that he doesn't want it. Yeah.
Yeah. But like Varys said, I'm so glad that conversation. I think I have this show's number. I might not because it's Game of Thrones, but the way this episode seemed to be going was Jon Snow clearly given into Daenerys entirely.
Yeah.
To the point where he's kind of pathetic. I feel like they did that intentionally because we're going to see like a Rocky moment of like Daenerys does something awful and then just and Jon Snow's like, "No, Daenerys, we're going to do it the right way." And she's going to kill a ton of innocent people at King's Landing, and I don't think Jon Snow is going to go for that.
Yeah. I'm a little confused about why they went back to Dragonstone.
So I feel
is it closer to King's Landing?
It is closer to King's Landing. I also think it's like, okay, well, we don't live in Winterfell. We're going to go back to where we were before we showed up at Winterfell.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
But I feel like they didn't bring all the Unsullied with them, or did they? Was that all that's left in that one shot?
Right, the shot at King's Landing at the front. That's what I thought. But you brought up a good point. You said it there. That just might be the let's have a talk army.
Yeah,
like she didn't bring everybody, but like that's the so. Let's say you bring 1/4 of your army. Maybe that's the equivalent. So they know that their forces are depleted because there's only like 100 Unsullied with her.
Yeah.
So that might be the case. This is the let's hang out and chat with my 100 guys, but that's all. There's maybe only 3/4 more at the most, probably, because they got it pretty hard. I mean, it went Drakari, and they all got wiped out.
The Dothraki?
What did I say?
Nothing. You didn't say
I
anything.
say nothing. I said nothing.
I think you said a Pokemon name.
If I did, put a picture of him up there. He was first in line in the fight of the undead. The Dothraki, then the Unsullied. So they took a pretty hard hit in that fight.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that was all she had left.
Well, and they, like, it was unclear how many ships got taken out.
Right.
This episode.
Right. We lost even more than we started off with.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I wouldn't be surprised if that number was the
total.
The total.
Yeah.
Which sucks because, like I said on the car ride over the other day, yesterday, whenever they show the Unsullied, they make a point to be like, look, there's more Unsullied than we can fit on the camera because special effects.
Right. But they made a very big point of being like, hey, look, there's 10 of them. So I think you're right. I think all of that's been intentional. I think the fact that we only saw a handful of them was intentional.
Yeah.
That dragon didn't stand a chance. Not a single chance. The dragon's dead.
Yeah, like immediately.
Yeah. The first shot, I was like, oh, man, it's going to fall. And then they were like, and I was like, oh, well, now he's squirting blood out of his mouth.
Yeah, that was, I guess, kind of a big reveal. I guess the whole time we were messing with White Walkers, they were building more of those bow and arrows.
They were, ooh, that's a good point. The whole time they're getting ready to fight the undead, Cersei's getting ready to fight them.
Yeah.
Wow. How messed up is that?
Yeah. Considering that she told them that they could expect her troops for the zombie battle.
What if, and it's funny because I see the memes everywhere, the whole, like, Cersei did nothing and, like, still kind of won because she doesn't have to fight the undead. But, like, what a gamble. There was absolutely no guarantee that they were going to win. There wasn't even like a 20-80% chance that they were going to win.
Yeah.
And she just kind of all on red, you know? Like she was in for it. Cuz those arrows weren't going to do anything against the undead.
No.
That was clearly for Daenerys.
Yeah. It's poor planning on Cersei's part, but it worked out.
It worked. Yeah, I mean, she made a gamble and it was right. But I thought she was gonna kill Tyrion. We're kind of jumping around everywhere, but I think everybody knows what
fine,
parts we're talking about.
I'm surprised she didn't. Obviously, every time she talks about him, she talks about how much she hates him, and he killed her son, and she's gonna kill him next time she sees him. And then I feel like for like a fleeting second, we had a moment of like, I can't kill my own brother, and we've never seen that from her.
No, I don't even know if it was so much I can't kill my own brother more than I want to hear what he has to say on behalf of Daenerys. A little bit, but. That was very out of character for Cersei. Honestly, too, I was expecting the whole put the hand up, put it down, but I was expecting her to be like, take him out.
Yeah.
Why? So, I don't know. Maybe it's etiquette. Maybe it's chivalry. Why didn't she just wipe everybody out after she killed Miss
Sandry?
Miss Sandry.
You mean like in that moment.
Yeah,
she
all
could've
the archers
just-
were ready to go. There was only like 100 on Sully and a dragon they were clearly prepared for.
Yeah,
She could have wiped them all. Oh, sorry, hit the fan. She could have wiped them all out.
Yeah, it must be. No, I don't know. It. There's got to be something that wasn't said of like, no, this is a talking one. We're just gonna talk.
Well,
this
that's
time.
that's what I'm saying. So it must just be out of respect, chivalry, just that kind of like, this is negotiations. We're not gonna fight during negotiations. I still can't believe Cersei would respect that. But yeah, it seems like it was something along
I'm
those
surprised that the fucking people of King's Landing like Cersei enough to act the way they are acting.
Yeah, I actually had a question about that. And so the episode gets kind of left off with there's a big moral decision to be made. Do they kill everybody in King's Landing to get to Cersei, all the residents, all the civilians, or do they try to get around them? I don't understand why she can't. Oh yeah, you want to do it? He's putting the wire on.
I don't have to hit my leg.
Ah, I see. See, it's a good idea. We got these little things that hide the wire from our mic cables. Anthony just clipped his in.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I feel like these people are going to be hiding in their houses. Why do you have to go? It seems like she'd be going out of her way to kill them.
They said to protect Cersei, all the townspeople are in the keep.
Oh.
I forget what it's
what a
called.
coward move.
They all the townspeople are like surrounding the Iron
The Red
Throne,
Keep?
basically. The Red Keep, yeah.
Yeah.
So if Cersei is the one person that she wants to kill, she's probably gonna have
I
to.
see what you're saying. They're
Yeah.
kind of willingly sacrificing themselves for the queen.
Yeah.
I
Which is
can't
weird
believe
because
they.
I didn't like. I know that they hated Joffrey and other kid, but I didn't. I guess there was like an off-camera like, hey, Cersei's not that bad.
Yeah, she keeps building these dragon things. It's probably gonna come useful someday. We should back her up. I think they made it seem like Jaime was going to be with Cersei. Like this whole thing, it's been a facade,
Yeah.
and he's really going to be with her. I think he's about to become the Queen Killer.
Oh, you think? Then why didn't he just tell Brienne?
She might want to go with him, this, that. Make it seem real. Word might get out that that's what he was going to do. I think he wanted to tell nobody
Okay.
and just go for it. 'Cause, and my dad brought this up, he just found out she brought somebody to assassinate the two of them. And he was him and Tyrion, I mean.
Yeah.
And he was very willing.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, let's make a deal or it ends right now.
That scene was probably that scene was probably the best scene all season, I think.
Yeah, it was
That was-
intense. I didn't know what was going to happen, and I didn't think I wasn't going to know what was going to happen. I honestly expected him to show up with the crossbow, sit down, and have a drink with him and be like, F her, right? But no, he was straight up like, you either double what she's given me
Yeah.
or it ends here.
It's
It's just out of character a little bit, I feel.
Yeah, no, I thought that I just don't understand why Bronn is smart enough to not trust Cersei.
Right. I think he's just at his wit's end, though, because he thought he could trust Tyrion, and that kind of worked out, but then he got brought back into it and lost everything.
No, yeah, I think Bronn is finally realizing that like he's the Gary. He's the guy that people go to if they need something done, but no one's really friends with him. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right. I think he's just finally putting his foot down.
Yeah.
Like, one of you Lannisters are going to give me something, and I'm going to
Or-
kill the other two.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Which makes
Game of
sense.
Thrones is so good at doing this. That was exactly enough scenes since the last time I saw Bronn to make me forget
Yeah.
that Bronn was was told to go kill them.
Well, yeah, because I wasn't getting a reaction out of any of you guys. I also forgot, but when I saw the crossbow, I was like, oh yeah. And then I was like, you guys know what he's doing, right? Here it is. Here's
Yeah.
the 3 people he needed to be with. Also, assuming they're a little on edge with people coming up from the south, nobody in the north really knows Bronn. I'm a little confused how he was just able to walk right into the castle of Winterfell. But I guess that's a story for another day. That'll never happen.
There had to have been someone, like maybe like
I'm trying to think who would know
he did
Bronn.
have a drawn weapon. Though,
That's what I'm saying.
So
He just kind of walked from the south.
yeah,
Granted, it's only one guy, but like that's where you're going next.
yeah.
I guess it'll be the same as like how's Jaime gonna get in? But I mean, he's Jaime, but he did leave, so he might
Right.
be in the same boat.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be disappointed if it turns out that Jaime just is still like
Is still like that.
yeah. If he's just like, hey, I'm back. Sorry,
I mean,
the zombies are dead. Promise.
I'm not a huge Jaime fan. Like I've said, he's kind of neutral in my book. It went from most hated character to neutral. I feel a little higher than neutral up until the last scene of this last episode. So there's not much of a loss to me. I mean, he was a bad guy. Granted, a lot of life-changing events happened to him, but he was a bad dude.
Yeah.
And I think there's one of two things. Either he's bluffing everybody and he's going to finish Cersei off, which would be amazing because then that neutralizes the whole do we have to kill everybody in King's Landing deal. He can just kind of sneak up in there and just be like, boop, with the sword. You know?
Yeah,
It's a
but
little boop.
if that's his plan, he's gonna be too late.
Unless he's already there. He left before everybody.
Jaime left before Daenerys did.
He left before Jon Snow did. We talk about this at the end. There's a little giveaway in the next time on that shows Jon Snow is also at King's Landing. What I was gonna say was he left before Jon Snow did.
Oh, okay.
So it seems like he would have been there before the battle starts.
I guess I forgot that. I thought that Jaime left last out of the 3 of them.
No, all of the North is still at Winterfell, and Jaime left. So it seems like the war is gonna start after Jaime already arrives.
Okay. That would. Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking up an article I wanted to read to you.
Oh, okay.
But not.
Are you ready to go?
No, I'm not gonna read it now. I did find it though.
Oh, okay. Do you want to read it to me on air? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do want to talk a little more in depth about the Tyrion Varys scene.
See, yeah. So it seemed like I was a little confused. They were kind of they were like talking in like riddles almost.
Kind of like everybody in King's Landing,
Yeah.
like we were back there.
But it seems like Tyrion is Team Dany and Varys is Team Jon. But then I got the impression that Varys was just like, all right, see you later, friendo. But then he was in the scene
Right.
with Missandei, so I don't know.
I think Varys, as he's always said, and he made sure he said it in the scene, is team whoever's for the people. And I think in Varys' eyes, Jon Snow might be the less crazy between the two of them. I think Tyrion made a choice and he wants to stick with it, but I think there's a lot of doubt in Tyrion's eyes. I think he's saying, I chose Daenerys, I'm going to stick with her. I think Daenerys is going to do something that's going to upset the lot of them, and that might change his mind. But there's a lot of doubt.
I think she only has to do something to upset Tyrion, and then we're good.
Well, did you hear what I said? I said, because there was a scene with Sansa and Tyrion, and it looked like Tyrion was turned right there, like Team Jon Snow, and I was like, well, he's locked and loaded. Oh, the sneeze?
No.
Oh, it didn't
I'm
happen.
yawning.
Oh, okay. It looked like he was turning Team Jon Snow, and I was like, locked and loaded. If Tyrion's on his side, he's got it.
Yeah.
There's like, not even that he, like Varys says, and it's what I said, it's not even if he wants it or not, he might not have a choice. If the people want who they want, and they're probably going to get them. Whoever it is. Whoever the people want is probably who's going to end up sitting on that throne. And if word gets out about who he is, the Seven Kingdoms are going to be divided. There's going to be a Team Jon Snow and a Team Dany, and that's going to really complicate things.
Yeah.
But it was just interesting. It was interesting to see the two top guys who are still alive on Dany's side contemplating Jon Snow.
Yeah.
It kind of went right to the heart of things, and that might get interesting. On the
I love how no one can keep a secret for more than 13 minutes.
I know.
In Winterfell.
No, anywhere.
Literally, Dany was like, "Tell no one."
Yeah.
And then it almost felt like he was planning on telling no one until she told him to tell no one, and then he told Sansa and Arya.
He was
and
like,
and then Sansa immediately told Tyrion, and Tyrion was like, "Well, I'll tell the rumor, dude."
I can't wait to see the meme. It's that guy who's like trying to hold a fart in class. He's got the vein down his head, and it's just like Sansa trying not to tell anybody Jon Snow's true identity for 5 seconds.
She almost did it. We almost made it out of that scene.
It was so close. Honestly, I was expecting her to turn around because the camera kind of did this thing where it panned to her contemplating whether or not to tell him as Tyrion was walking away.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting her to be like Tyrion and it pan and him not be there anymore.
Me too.
I would have been a little upset because I really wanted her to tell somebody. And he was there, and I was like, it's gonna happen.
So, did you also get the impression that all those characters that John was saying bye to, that's the last time we're going to see him on Game of Thrones?
I think that's implied. I don't think it's going to be it, though. Because here's the thing. I guess Tormund and all them, that could be the end for them because from here on out, it's not the Wildlings fight.
Right.
They
Plus,
did
those
what they were there
characters,
for.
kind of got a happy ending.
Yeah.
Like him and, is it Thormund or Tormund?
Oh, I thought it was Tormund.
Okay.
It could be Tormund, though.
Tormund was like, yeah, we're friends. Let's always be friends. I'm going to go home now. And
Yeah.
then Sam was like, we're also going to go home. We're also super in love and pregnant and bye. So it
Right.
seemed like it was like, that's the rest of our story. See ya.
I don't think it's the end for Sam. Because I think anybody who's still in the Seven Kingdoms, it's still absolutely up in the air whether or not they're still going to play a role. I think as far as Tormund and the Wildlings, that could be it. There's no reason for them to continue fighting unless they just really got a hard-on for Jon Snow and they can't stop helping him, which it would just be a nicety. There's nothing. They would be getting nothing
right
out of helping him. Even he's like, and here's the thing, where he's at right now, he's kind of a wimp right now. He's not Jon Snow right now. He's
Right.
not. If they were like, let's help you, Jon Snow, and by help you, I guess we mean help Daenerys.
Yeah.
Like it's not. The loyalty kind of falls apart there because it's not his fight anymore. I did quotations. It's Daenerys's,
Yeah.
and he's helping her.
Do you think, not that
yes.
we're ever going to see this, but do you think that the Wildlings are going to try and rebuild the wall? The hole in the wall?
I think they're gonna gonna demolish it as much as they can.
Why?
They didn't want the wall.
Was it not protecting them? Were they not beyond the wall?
It was keeping them out of the Seven Kingdoms. They weren't allowed beyond the wall.
Oh, I see. But now that everyone's cool, it being there is kind of cool to protect them.
I guess like an implied eighth kingdom, and they have a wall between them and the other seven.
Yeah, or just
They
like
could.
or just like the people who aren't named Jon Snow still hate wildlings. Let's keep them out with the wall that was used against us.
Assuming. Here's the thing: if Dany or Jon Snow end up in power, I feel like they're going to be pretty open arms with the wildlings. I mean, talk
Yeah.
about people who gave everything to them.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, Cersei, I guess, screw them. You know, she'd probably
Right.
rebuild the wall.
Probably doesn't even know about them.
Right, exactly. I thought it was interesting, Jon Snow saying goodbye to Ghost, even though those two characters weren't quite as tight as it was implied at the beginning of the
Yeah.
show. There was kind of 4 seasons where they had their own separate journeys.
Yeah.
But I thought it was pretty symbolic of Jon kind of letting go of the Starks. Because he's being...
Yeah.
In this moment, I feel like I said, I think there's going to be this whole Rocky moment of him, getting his groove back and being Jon Snow. But right now, he's kind of like, no, guys, Daenerys doesn't want me to. And, just kind of giving up on everybody else. I feel like him giving up Ghost was kind of symbolic of, no, not as much loyalty to the Starks as he once had.
I feel like his waning loyalty to the Starks has almost nothing to do with Daenerys. I feel like he knows his last name is Targaryen now, and he wants to be loyal to, not loyal, but he wants to take up his role as the only living male Targaryen. So if that in his not that I agree with this, but if that in his mind means maybe I should just stop with Winterfell and stuff, then I wouldn't be surprised.
I guess so. He's just being a real loser about it.
Yeah.
Because he is still part Stark, His mother was
True,
Stark.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he shouldn't... That scene was cool, by the way. You mentioned it, the four of them, in a row. I kind of want a poster of that.
When Arya was like, we need to talk,
Yeah.
and then the camera focuses, and it's all every Stark kid.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Bran had the best line of the whole episode.
Oh, my God. I was just waiting to hear what he had to say. I expected him to say, if you don't tell him, I will. But
that would have been equally as cool.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
He said it in such a Bran
Yeah.
way.
Because he knows who Jon Snow really is.
Yeah.
Daenerys didn't want him to tell anybody, which in Game of Thrones, of course, means the next people he saw
next
he
scene.
had to tell.
Next scene. I was the only people who knew at the start of the episode were Jon and Dany, and now Tyrion said it himself. 8 people know.
And Varys had a good point. At what point is it not a secret and just information?
I think when you tell the spider,
Yeah.
I think when you tell the spider, it's not a secret anymore.
Because everybody knows from there. Right, exactly. Oh my God.
And not to mention all the people who know are spread across the kingdom.
Oh yeah.
Varys and Tyrion are with Dany, Sam is back home, and everyone else is.
Oh yeah. It's like a disease. It's just getting spread everywhere.
It's probably supposed to, but it mirrors the keeping Jaime and Cersei a secret.
Right.
Everybody knows now.
Right.
Even a couple seasons ago, it was no, keep it on the DL, bro.
Yeah, that's just so weird. I thought I was going to talk about how it's weird. I mean, I guess Brienne assumed he was a different person, still might be, but it was just weird how Brienne was like, "What? But you still love her?" And it's yeah, it's weird, right? We know he's a weirdo. Don't be too surprised. I mean, the guy was doing that. He's a weird dude. Should have expected this to some degree. To counter that, though, chill out, Dany. Jon Snow was in his room, and she was like, "Oh, hey, nephew, let's still do it, though." And then he was like, no, that's weird, right? It's weird. Let's not do it."
Yeah, I was trying to because that seemed like that's what that scene was, but then they started talking about politics and not the
Well, because that's how it always goes with her.
Yeah.
It's always going to end there. She doesn't have much of a personality. It's either we're going to do it or let's talk about politics. You pick one of those.
I will
two.
say that scene that we were just talking about is more emotion than Daenerys Targaryen has shown in the last couple seasons.
If it's genuine.
Yeah,
Because I could very easily see her just playing Jon Snow because she knows she's got him in her pocket, you know, and just trying to play it up, ham it up so that she can get to the throne, and then what? Who cares for her in her mind?
Yeah, every time we the two of them have a conversation about this, she makes sure to brings up the fact that she's completely in love with him.
Right.
That's right. I'm glad you brought that up. I meant to bring that up. honestly cannot tell if Dany is manipulating him or actually like wearing her heart on her sleeve and trying to figure this thing out between them.
It might be a mix of both. It might be
Just because Dany doesn't know how to not manipulate people.
right. Well, it also best of both worlds. It's what she genuinely wants, but ham it up because it's gonna help you in the end.
Right.
You know? Like, even if she did care for him, I don't think she'd be this vocal about it.
Right.
But it could be both. It could be I genuinely do care for him, but at the same time, if I really make it seem that way, he'll just be my pet the whole way through.
Yeah.
Which is it's what's happening. Wake up, Jon Snow. See what's happening.
See, I was talking with your mom about this on the way home. This show is all about subverting expectations.
Yeah.
If the last episode ends with like, and then they all lived happily ever after, Jon's on the throne and Cersei is dead, like that's way too simple. Like that's not like that's what everyone wants to happen, I feel like, but I feel like either that happens but like it's a rough road to get there, or something totally you don't like
Right.
I fully expect at this point, I fully expect someone weird to be on the throne, like Sansa or Jaime or somebody, you know?
If it was here's the way I see it. The show if it's somebody we didn't expect and there's not a good explanation, that's bad writing. Bad job. You led me to believe that there's like 4 or 5 characters who could definitely have it.
Yeah.
And if it's not one of them and you don't give me the perfect explanation, bad job on your part. You manipulate that. It's to a point, it's not artistic, it's not good if you just manipulate me to believe it's these people and then decide on some rando.
Yeah.
That's just bad writing unless it's done tastefully. If it's Jon or Gendry. If Jon's the one I expect, if Gendry ends up on the throne, that'll be like my like Pikachu face.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there he is. I wasn't expecting it, but he also makes sense. If it's Daenerys, I'll be a little disappointed just because she wants it too much. Like, even if you like her or not, like she's a bit over the top right now. She's a little crazy, a bit over the top. I don't think she deserves it. That's my own personal belief. I know people don't quite feel that way, but you got to give me a little slack. At least this season, she's a little nutso.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I think I predict that we're gonna get a throne twist. I think that we're gonna end this season with someone weird on the throne. Because think about it, like if there's a battle, right, and Cersei, Jon, and Dany all die, then like who does it go to? It goes to Gendry, obviously.
Right.
But like if he's like written off the show, quote unquote, because they like sent him to that place where he's at, and like, hey, forget about him. Then who is it? Like,
right.
Is it Jaime? Is it Sansa? Is it Arya? Like, at that point, it's anyone's throne. Tyrion?
Right. I feel like you literally, like, there's an A squad and a B squad, and I think you just listed the whole B squad of, like, who could potentially be on the throne. I was expecting, kind of hard cut to another scene, because my dad fully expects Arya to be on the throne.
That's weird.
It's weird. It's a weird choice. That's like level C. He just really likes her. He wants her to do well, but like she's nowhere. That's the thing. When you said like I hope it might, you didn't say I hope. You said it might be somebody weird. In my head, I was like Arya, and then I was like that's stupid. If it's Arya, that's dumb.
In Reigns Game of Thrones, the Tinder
Game
of Thrones game that I have, when you play as Arya, her storyline is she kills Cersei and takes her face. So everyone you talk to thinks that you're Cersei.
Exactly. Right. Which is, I mean, if she ever was to be on the throne, that's probably how it would go.
It's too late for that, though.
Well, I mean, her and the Hound are
No, I mean, like, she's gotta. If she were to do that, she would have to tell everyone.
Oh yeah, true. Oh yeah, because then it's like
Cersei.
Yo, don't do it.
Yeah,
let's just all be cool.
It's getting pretty late. Are we gonna get a Hound versus Mountain?
Everybody, from what I've seen on Facebook, it seems like everybody's gearing it up for next episode.
Why though? Just
I don't know.
okay.
Because they're going to be on the same plane, I guess.
Are they? Where is the Hound right now? Is he still in Winterfell?
He's riding out of Winterfell with Arya, and she said, "Are you going to King's Landing?" King's Landing.
Oh, right.
He said, "I have unfinished business." She said, "Me too." Her unfinished business could be that Cersei thing. I don't know what else it would be.
Her unfinished business is killing Cersei. It's the only one left on her list.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd also be kind of upset if she got both the big kills.
That's what I was thinking too, because like there's a couple different like hero main characters, and like she's definitely one of them. But there's two big things we had to kill this season. If you're on the good guys team, there's the Night King and there's Cersei Lannister, and she already got one.
Right.
So I don't know.
It would just I feel like it would just be a kind of poor writing.
I did think it was cool that like no ulterior motives, no manipulation. Daenerys was straight up just like, everyone give it up to Arya. She
that
saved
was
us
cool.
all.
That was cool. Again, might be hamming it up, try and get people on her side, but I guess I could say that about everything a person does. So you're right. It was cool. There could have been no ulterior motives. It was cool she mentioned it. It was also cool Arya didn't care enough to show up. I felt like that was very Arya.
Arya just don't care. She didn't care to show up. She didn't care to.
No,
Gendry was like, "I'm in love with you" for some reason, and she was like,
Yeah, I was expecting that. I feel like it's gonna be flip flopped eventually, though. I feel like she might come around. Either that, or she kind of used him. She kind of used him.
Do you think there's gonna be a time skip? Do you think there's gonna be like a last 10 minutes? Look at all of them when they're old.
That would be really cool.
Because then that would like if Arya was like, if the story was like, and then Arya fought 1,000,000 dudes and got old and so tired that she did go back to Gendry. That would make sense to me.
That would be cool. It's weird to think that in levels of weirdness for the Starks, it goes Bran, Arya, Jon, Sansa. Levels of how weird are these people?
Yeah. Bran is... What the fuck did Bran say? He said like... He said some shit like, I don't...
I live mostly in the past, is what he said.
I live mostly in the past. I don't want anymore, or something like that.
Honest
and Tyrion,
to God,
rather than being like, what the fuck, Tyrion was just like, you.
No, exactly. I kind of want everybody who talks to him to just kind of roll their eyes and walk away.
Yeah.
I just want somebody to shake him and be like, say something normal. Anything. Say anything normal. And him just be like, hello, from 10 minutes from now. And then they slap him and they're like, no, just say something normal. He's a weirdo now. He's just a flat out, like, we saw the progression. We knew it was going to end with him being a weirdo, but he's just full out weirdo.
Yeah. The last Three-Eyed Raven wasn't this weird.
No,
he was like a cool old dude that I would like chill with, and he was in Force Awakens.
Granted, he lived inside of a tree, and I don't mean inside a carved out tree. I mean the tree grew around him, and he lived in it.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. But beyond that, he was kind of normal.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like they set up Bran to be this plot device where it's like, here's what really happened in the past, but then they got all of that out of the way in one season, and now he's just weird guy.
He's done nothing. Nothing. Like, I was expecting when he fell asleep for all of the Battle of the Dead, I was expecting him this episode to be like, yeah, but I sent ravens down to King's Landing, and here's what you can expect, and this and that, which still might be the case, but
no,
it wasn't
gone.
brought up.
Everyone left him. Like,
right.
I legitimately don't know what he was doing and don't think it'll be explained.
No, well,
he warged into like a bunch of birds, and then looked at a dragon, and then didn't do anything with that information.
Did nothing. He didn't tell anybody anything.
No.
He was just checking out the show. I saw this meme. It said,
I fully expected him to like wake up and be like, stab him here or whatever.
Right. No, something. I've seen a million memes. I love them all about like what he was doing. My favorite one though is what was Bran Stark doing that whole episode? Somebody said watching Endgame.
Yeah,
It was like I was like, yeah. I mean, it was about the same length. Like I'm sure that battle went on for 3.5 hours at least.
I mean, it went on all night.
Right.
We don't know.
Oh, we
exactly
could have
when
watched it a few times.
Yeah. No, yeah, we don't know exactly when it started, but it ended with morning, which was pretty
Yeah.
cool. I think the implication was as long as Night King is alive, it won't be morning.
Ooh.
But
That's interesting.
they don't explain that. That's just, and I'm kind of glad they didn't explain it. I like having my theories about that.
Yeah.
I did real quick.
Yeah, you got that article ready?
I found you were mentioning that we were talking, I don't remember if it was on a podcast or not, but you were talking about how HBO is fucked after they lose Game of Thrones and they're kind of banking on Game of Thrones spin-off.
Oh,
of
you're
some
going to
sort.
talk about how that's dead forever in the depths of HBO because they just won't make it.
No.
Really? That's the last news I heard about it.
This article, the way it's worded is, I'm just going to read the whole thing. George R. R. Martin says that 3 of HBO's Game of Thrones spin-offs are quote-unquote moving forward nicely.
Ooh.
HBO's Game of Thrones inching towards its end. Just 3 episodes left. This is an old article. Network isn't abandoning Westeros just yet. In 2017, George R. R. Martin revealed that there were 5 spin-off shows.
Wow.
He says he prefers to call them successors rather than spin-offs.
Ooh.
In his latest blog post, Martin notes that of those 5, 3 of them are moving forward nicely. HBO has ordered a pilot for one of them, which I'm not going to read that as confusing. Set 1,000 years before the events of Game of Thrones. It's
Wow.
expected to start shooting sometime this summer. And they got the person who directed Jessica Jones to do it, so
I
That's
really
weird, but-
want the Robert Ned prequel one. That'd be so good. I'd watch the crap out of that
Oh
one.
yeah. Well, that's not this one though.
No,
looks
that's
like-
not the one you just mentioned.
It looks
no,
like
but
if we're talking 1,000 years ago, it's probably going to be all about Targaryens.
probably all about Targaryens and the creation of the Night King.
Yeah, that'd be interesting if we found out
Anything about that character?
on
yeah.
that show and not this one.
Yeah, that would be. Here's the thing, I'd accept all of that, if that's the case. If not, who was he?
Right.
Why?
Yeah.
Why for all of it?
Yeah, they were just like, hey, Game of Thrones zombies are kind of weird. They have a hive mind leader. He's got clear goals. We're not going to tell you why or who he is.
Right, exactly.
Which is fine, which would have been fine. I'm totally fine with the bad guys a monster that we just have to throw people at until it's dead, you know?
Yeah.
Like a faceless monster, but
yeah.
there was too many scenes of him like silently like planning what he was going to
Yeah.
do. Like he's clearly been planning this since
He had goals, expectations.
Yeah. So,
He had a dream board. It was nice.
yeah. Let's talk about next time on.
Sure.
Do you remember it? Because I don't.
I mean, very simply,
There was no words I remember.
there was no words. It was everybody's gearing up at King's Landing. The war's gonna happen. It's inevitable.
I'm not quite sure if I'm ready for another big, huge war. I feel like
I don't think we have time not to be.
No, I know. I think that in a subverting expectations Game of Thronesy way, there's not gonna be a full war. Like I feel like there's obviously gonna be like a couple different like duels or battles or whatever you want to call them, but like I feel like in terms of like my army versus your army, let's go right now. I feel like we're not there right now.
It'd be
We just
very
got
hype.
one. We
Right.
usually get
One
if
a
we-
season.
If we get one, we usually get one a season, but
Yeah.
this is it. So
Here's the deal. This next time on really teased that they're all there. They're gonna fight. It'd be really cool though, and if in a very Tyrion-esque style, he said, "Well, why not just what do they call it when you battle it out? It's like a court, but you battle it out.
I don't know what
You
you're
get
talking
one person. He's done it like twice on this show
about.
now.
Like the snake in the mountain.
Yeah, but it's the Hound versus the Mountain,
Ooh.
and it's like let's be gentlemen about it. 1-on-1. Why kill everybody when it could just be 1-on-1?
What is that called? It has like a
They
specific
keep
name.
referring to it as something specific.
Yeah, because the first time it was Braun, right?
Yeah.
Because the Lady Aaron was gonna
It,
and that's how he met Braun.
yes, exactly. It's
God, Braun's come a long way. I forgot he
Yeah.
worked for House Aaron.
You know, the first time we see him is in like a bar. He's kind of a no-name character. Like, they don't introduce him till like the next episode.
Oh, that's cool.
You don't even realize it's him till you watch it again. But I think they keep referring to the Hound versus the Mountain as the Clegane Bowl.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know why it's being referred to as that, but
Why bowl?
I don't know. Oh, because they keep saying it's, nobody needs any other sporting event. This would be the sporting event
okay.
for the week. Which would be interesting. Here's what would be interesting about it. They fight. If the Hound wins, Cersei's obviously not going to take that, and then there's going to be a fight.
Right.
Um,
And if the Mountain wins, a lot of people lose their favorite character.
right.
Probably.
Right.
Do you think they're gonna take his mask off at all?
They better. It's kind of, here's the thing, he's kind of become the Darth Vader of this series. Darth Vader and Darth Maul put together, where it's like he's masked and nobody knows what he looks like. Also, he doesn't say anything and it's horrifying. But even Darth Vader got his mask removed. You know?
Yeah.
Even if it's at the end, even if they mirror that scene where the Hound strikes him down and he's like, "Well, I'm gonna look at my brother before he dies," and takes the helmet off.
Even the character who's like line sheet in the script, like before he was called Vader, could have been called "Wears mask to hide identity."
Exactly.
got his mask removed.
Even what would be the coolest in a very Hound way, and it would really symbolically bring together his weaknesses, is if he takes down his brother, removes the masks, takes a torch, and just puts it on his face.
Oh shit!
Wouldn't that be very
That his
Hound?
whole life would come
Exactly.
Full
It
circle.
would exactly. I that would be very quench thirsting to me.
Yeah.
After that, I feel like they could kill most of my favorite characters, and I'd still be like, "Did you see what the Hound just did?" Because I feel like that's the trade-off for them right now. Is we're gonna do something cool, then we're gonna kill people you like, but then we're gonna do something cool.
That's what they did this episode.
Exactly.
I liked this episode.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I was very concerned when it was all talk, character progression, but not really story progression. And it was like, all right, but then what? But then what? Like, we're at Winterfell. Yay, we killed him, but now what are we doing?
No, sort of exactly what I said I thought was going to happen happened. There was a bunch of talking, and then the episode, I mean, they got to King's Landing, but I theorized, I predicted that they would be on their way to King's Landing when the episode ended.
Well, they kind of, like, stutter-stepped you a little bit, where you predicted they were on their way to fight at King's Landing, but they ended up making it there, but they didn't fight.
Right.
There was a talk, if that's what you want to call it. A talk with warriors.
She didn't say anything. Cersei didn't say anything.
She said, if you have any last words, now's the time, which was horrifying.
Let's talk about that real quick. I know we're going on,
yeah.
but we have to. Why did she say that? Why did Missandei say
I was
Dracarys
expecting that
before?
to be... And then the dragon...
Because that's what she said, right? When the dragon... Why did she say that?
I thought it would be so cool if she said it and then it was like a distraction and somehow they get her out of there. Because, like, she says that, then the dragon starts freaking out and they're like, the dragon. And then she, like, I don't know, gets out of there somehow. But no, she just said it. Nothing happened and she died. It was very anticlimactic.
Yeah, Dracarys literally translates to dragon fire in High Valyrian. So I don't know. I don't know why she... Maybe she was trying to say, like... I don't know. It was weird.
It was... I mean... I guess what it gets chalked up to now is symbolic unity between her and her people, but, like, it could have been really cool. The dragon could have freaked out. Even if she didn't make it, there could have been some sort of distraction and her almost make it.
Right.
But it just left me and you with questions.
Yeah.
Like, why? Maybe, I mean, this would be really meta and it wouldn't be funny, but maybe it was like, she says it and she's like, oh, I guess it only works for her. Like, an inside joke, but, like, let us know about it, because now we don't know what it was about.
Yeah, it was just she said it like it meant something, and then no one reacted,
Right.
and not even the dragon. So I don't know. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us. Next time, join us next Monday for more Game of Thrones. Join us this Wednesday for Avengers Endgame spoiler cast. So tune into that. And anything else you wanted to say before we
No.
All right, cool. See you next time. I don't know why I've been Thunder.
I'm Lightning.
And we'll see you